Now,
5 minutes
Bapdada wants that for 5 minutes,
एक बच्चा
each one of you
पावरफुल याद में बैठ जाए,
sit in powerful remembrance.
कोई संकल्प नहीं,
Have no thoughts whatsoever. Okay, so every day
बीच में 5 मिनट
from time to time in between for 5 minutes
शरीर
become completely bodiless.
अनुभव करते चलो,
And continue
क्योंकि समय
to experience that.
आगे बहुत
Because
आने वाला
in the future it is going to be very, very sensitive times. Sensitive time is going to be very sensitive.
अभ्यास नहीं
So if at that time you don't have the practice of becoming bodiless, if you do not have the controlling power in you,
सक्सेस नहीं हो,
then you will not be able to become successful.
इसलिए
Therefore,
बीच बीच में
from time to time, in between, 2 minutes, even 1 minute, 5 minutes,
अशरीरी बनने का अभ्यास
practice
अपने
becoming bodiless in your daily routine.
अवश्य करते
This is very important, practicing being bodiless in your daily routine from time to time, controlling power in the self.
सभी आसपास वाले, देश वाले, विदेश वाले,
To all of you, whether here or abroad,
बाप दादा भी देख रहे हैं।
Bap Dada
इस समय
is seeing all of you that at this moment, majority's attention at this time is towards Madhuban.
तो रोज अपनी प्रैक्टिस करते रहना।
So, practice being bodiless every day in this way,
ऐसा समय आएगा
because
जो ये प्रैक्टिस
such times are going to come when this type of practice of being bodiless in 1 second will become very, very essential,
समय पर
and therefore
अशरीरी का अभ्यास
do this practice more and more.
शिव बाबा को याद कर, जी भर उसको प्यार कर, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना। शिव बाबा को याद कर, जी भर उसको प्यार कर, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना। आया है लेके झूमती बहार, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना, सांसों को आबाद कर ले मेरे मना।
ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति. A very good evening to all of you. This evening we are going to talk about a very important subject in this spiritual life: deepening remembrance. Remembrance is a way of life. Life is not separated from remembrance at any time. We always remember somebody, something, or some place. Remembrance is always connected with love and relationship. Wherever there is love, there is relationship, and where there is relationship, there is remembrance. For example, a child remembers his parents, or a student remembers the teacher, or a patient remembers the doctor. It is just a natural remembrance because there is relationship and love. And that remembrance is physical. Now we are talking about the spiritual life, remembrance of God. Now, what is remembrance of God? In simple words, Dadi Janki always used to say two things: who am I and who I belong to. This is remembrance. To have the awareness, who am I and who I belong to, is called remembrance. Now, remembrance can be on many levels. Sometimes you can remember Shiv Baba in his form, point of light. Sometimes you can remember Shiv Baba in the home, soul world. Sometimes you can also remember Shiv Baba with his name Shiva, the benefactor. We can also say remembering Baba's occupation, remover of sorrow, giver of happiness, is also remembrance. Remembering our inheritance, Sukhdam, that is also remembrance. Remembrance is also connected with relationships with Baba. So it doesn't matter how you approach the subject of remembrance. There is no kind of restriction in this Brahmin life that you need to have only remembrance of one thing, only the form. You can remember Baba in his name, in his form, in his occupation. Doesn't matter. But my intellect should be connected with Baba. Even though Baba gives us the mantra, Man Mana Bhav, but Baba always asks us to connect our yoga of intellect with Baba. Why? Because when you remember Baba, First, your intellect visualizes. For example, you remember Baba in Parandam, so your intellect see you see yourself in Parandam through the eye of your intellect, and then the mind will follow and you create an experience. And so this is why it is very important to have the cooperation of the mind and intellect together so that I am able to have powerful remembrance. So when we talk about remembrance of Baba, there can be three types of remembrance. Quality I'm talking about. One is to make effort to remember Baba. It is called struggling to remember Baba. The second is to have natural remembrance. Because when you are soul conscious, there is no one who comes in your intellect except Baba. And the third type of remembrance is what we call, deep remembrance. In other words, we call it as troublesome remembrance. Remembrance of Baba is so consistent, so intense that I cannot even forget, even though I want to. So when we are talking today, deepening our remembrance, it refers to the third type. I go into the subtleties. I go into the depth, dive deep into the remembrance to such an extent, I am lost. I am merged. I become one with Baba. Of course, in the path of bhakti, they call it as lean, merged in God. But the depth of remembrance is when I become one with Baba, I become equal to Baba. So in order to deepen my relationship, in order to deepen my stage, I need to understand very clearly, the four, whenever Jagdish to refer to the four dimensions, because we are leading a yogi life, and life is like a building which has four dimensions. So the depth of remembrance is connected with the stages of remembrance. Soul consciousness, churning knowledge, heart-to-heart conversation with Baba, and the seed stage. So the deepest stage of remembrance is the seed stage, which you can only experience when you are in the soul world. But in order to go deeper into that, my height, depth is always connected with the height. Even when they build a building, they always think about it. The deeper the foundation, the higher, the taller the building. So I need to teach myself to think elevated thoughts, high energy level of thoughts. So when my thoughts are of high energy level, when my thoughts are elevated, when my thoughts are powerful during the day, then I can dive deep into the experience of the remembrance. So height and depth is connected, but it also has to match with the length and the breadth. So one of the things that Baba talks about in Sakar Murlis, Baba says you must at least keep the chart of 8 hours of remembrance. So that is the length that is necessary in order to dive deeper. So if I have anything less than that, of course I have remembrance, but the benefit of remembrance, what Baba talks about, the sins being incinerated, that will not happen. And so 8 hours of remembrance is the length of remembrance. So now if I want to stretch to 8 hours of remembrance, then I must have the width. So now the width of remembrance is compared to the relationships. mainly 8 relationships with Baba, which includes all relationships. So during the whole day, as a karma yogi, as you are performing mundane duties like taking shower, getting ready, driving, so you need to plan yourself to be in one of the stages of yoga. It could be soul consciousness, it could be churning knowledge, it could be heart-to-heart conversation, and finally seed stage. So these 8 relationships, 8 hours of remembrance becomes the length and the width, elevated thoughts, the height of remembrance, and the depth. So when all these 4 dimensions are matching, you find that it becomes easy for us to maintain what Baba calls it as Yoga Yukta stage. So I was thinking another meaning of deepening remembrance is to become the embodiment of remembrance. So this morning itself, Moiniben was talking about 3 things. One is Smriti, the other is Swarup, and then the third is Saman. So we begin meditation, we begin our journey with Smriti, awareness. Just awareness is not enough. I have to embody that awareness. Now, what it means to embody the awareness is to be in that experience. You are not thinking, you are not thoughtless, you are, I am. So in that way, the longer I experience being Swarup, embodiment, then I can go into the third stage, which is equal to Baba. That means myself and Baba will not have any more difference. I become like Baba myself. And Baba means equal to Baba means Sampan and Sampuran. Sampan means complete, Sampuran. So that should be our aim. So if you are really keen to deepen your remembrance experience, try to pay more attention to embody the awareness, not just thinking of the awareness. I am a soul, I am child of Baba, I am the resident of the soul world. Of course, by thinking this, you avoid waste thoughts. But you are not deepening your experience. You are not going into the subtleties. You are not embodying that thought, and that will not allow you to become equal to the Father. And that is why one of the important requirements is to understand life is a journey, and remembrance can be practiced in both ways. Remembrance can be practiced as a pilgrimage, and remembrance can be practiced as a journey. In both incidents, whether it is journey or pilgrimage, you have a destination to reach. So when you begin your journey, your destination is always in front of you. And in order to reach that destination, you practice certain disciplines in your life. For example, if you take remembrance as, pilgrimage, for example, when people go on pilgrimage, what are some of the disciplines they would follow to make sure that they really get the benefit of that pilgrimage? So the first and foremost thing that is required in order to deepen my pilgrimage of remembrance is purity. Deepening remembrance is not possible without having complete purity. Purity in thoughts, purity in words, purity in action, relationship, and dream. Even devotees for a short pilgrimage place, they will obey, they will have the discipline of purity. And second thing is, each devotee, when they go on a pilgrimage, they chant the name of their own gods and goddesses. If someone is a Shiva devotee, they will say Om Namo Shivaya. Somebody is a devotee of Narayan, they will chant that name. So which means that I also need to have, so much love for Baba in my heart when I am on the pilgrimage, because my purpose of going to the pilgrimage is to be with Baba. So if you look at remembrance as pilgrimage, you need to have purity, you need to have love, and you need to have peace. Because when someone is on the pilgrimage, they always don't indulge in any kind of vicious actions, quarreling, hitting, fighting, talking loudly. Some of them even observe total silence also. See, these three things are a must. If I want to deepen my experience in remembrance as journey, I should not break my purity. I should maintain the true unadulterated love for Baba. That means one Baba and none other. And of course, the peace that is my original religion, that needs to be the foundation. But when I look at remembrance as relationship, it even helps me more to deepen my remembrance, because relationship is life. And so I need to approach the subject of remembrance as real. It's not artificially I am singing, you are the mother, father, and I am your child. But from Amrit Vela onwards, until you go to bed, you should really experience the different relationships with Baba. It is like you are living with Baba. You are in Baba's company. That is why Baba says when you wake up in the morning, you have the relationship of child and father. The first thing that you start your morning is by saying good morning to Baba. And as a child, you experience the inheritance that Baba gives to you. And then we come into the relationship of the teacher, because Baba as a teacher teaches us the knowledge, and knowledge is very, very important to deepen my experience, because it is knowledge that enlightens me about my relationship with Baba. Because in Baba's remembrance, there is no blind faith. We have understanding based on faith. And so it is very important. Then secondly, teacher. And then we go on to Karma Yoga. Some goes to office, some go to Karma Yoga. So you can choose sometimes as a friend, sometimes as a guide, different relationship, sometimes as a mother, sometimes as a guru. So during the day, according to my action, I choose that relationship and practically experience being with Baba. This is something which is very, very important to deepen my experiences, integrating remembrance of Baba in my action, not to separate action from remembrance. Because most of the time we are karma yogis, maybe how many hours we can sit in one place and remember. And that is why it is important to integrate. That means combine yoga and karma together. Whatever actions you are doing, speaking, looking, talking, eating, and if there is that remembrance of Baba in the action that you are performing, there are three benefits you can see. Three qualifications you can see in the action that reveals that your yoga was with Baba. One is all the actions that you are going to perform will be of quality. Secondly, all the actions that you are going to perform will be beautiful and it's of value. So when my actions carry these three qualifications, I can understand that my karma was not a karma, it was an art. That is why in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, they say yoga makes every action into an art. And people will be very interested to observe you doing action. Just like we remember all the Brahmins were anxious to look at Brahma Baba doing actions. Even when he was sleeping, people would like to see how he sleeps, when he is eating, how he eats. Because there was a kind of art, there was that spirituality, fragrance of spirituality in every action. And so that is very important, integrating action while performing action. So relationships with Baba makes a lot of difference in deepening my experiences. And the third important aspect, is actually churning of knowledge. Because churning of knowledge helps the intellect to recycle the pure energy. It is Jnana Yoga. See, Raja Yoga is called different names. Sometimes it is Karma Yoga, sometimes Raja Yoga, sometimes Buddhi Yoga, sometimes Jnana Yoga. So when I am churning knowledge, you are in connection with Baba, but it may not be very deep yoga experience. But that is necessary because you have to warm up the engine. You need to create that intoxication to have powerful remembrance. The more intoxication you have through churning of the knowledge, the more powerful yoga you will have. You experiment that and see how it is going to help you. So this is why in most of the Murlis, Baba keeps on reminding us how important it is for us to learn the art of churning so that we can make Baba's knowledge into our own. It becomes a blood of our life. Then we have authority to speak Baba's knowledge. And not only that, but we are able to connect with Baba and hold that connection for a longer period of time. So churning knowledge is a very important aspect in deepening my yoga experience because it takes me into subtleties. Deepening the remembrance of Baba is diving into the subtleties. That is why Baba says accurate remembrance means to know me as I am, what I am, and who I am. And before even that, you must know yourself, what you are, who you are. So if I do not have my own recognition, I cannot have the recognition of Baba. So just faith is not going to deepen my experience, but recognition of Baba. That is recognition that comes from my heart. Faith is only of the intellect that will help to some extent, but recognition of Baba will make me an embodiment of remembrance very easily. So embodiment of remembrance, in other words, means to become Master Almighty Authority. I don't have to repeat, but my life itself reveals that you are all powerful. You have received the powers from Baba. And so the most important thing is to learn the art of churning knowledge. But at the same time, another important factor that helps us to deepen remembrance is to have a clear aim and objective in Brahmin life. What I want to achieve in this Brahmin life. As is your aim, so will be your qualification. So if I'm just learning to meditate just because I have a stress or I have a problem, I have a worry, I will practice. When the worry goes out, I will give up. But for me, it should be a way of living. So then I'm able to have that aim, what I want to achieve through remembrance, that should be clear in my mind. And one of the things Mohini Ben was sharing, to deepen our remembrances, we also need to have this concern that now it is return journey time. No matter how old I am, how long in knowledge, how new in knowledge, now we are all in the state of retirement, and all of us have to return home. So when you hear the word returning home, the thing that comes into our mind is letting go. You have to know the art of letting go. If you don't let go, then you won't let God to help you to reach the deep experiences. And three things very important for us to let go in order to deepen our yoga experience is let go of the past, let go of thinking about others, and letting go of the expectations. Many times we have so much of expectations that we get so disappointed when those expectations are not fulfilled. And lot of time in Brahmin life is gone only about thinking about others or thinking about the past. So now is the time to pack up. Full stop. That is why Baba keeps reminding us about the three dots. I the soul, I am a dot. Baba the dot, Brahma the dot. And those of us who do not know the art of applying the dot of Brahma can never dive into the deep experience of yoga. Because all the time the question mark will trouble me. So I need to have the passion, I would say, to apply knowledge in action. When you apply knowledge in action, that becomes might for you. That becomes wisdom for you, and that helps you to dive deeper. Why? How did Mama, how did all the dadis, they were able to experience, the deep experiences of yoga? It is because of these practices. When something has passed, not even they repeat in their mind, nor repeat in words. It's finished. It's only then you can move forward. And as I was sharing earlier, deepening my stage of remembrance means nowadays we need to practice the first two stages in Karma Yoga. Soul consciousness and churning knowledge. That should be practiced integrated with action. I don't need to spend time when I sit specially for tapasya, yoga bhakti. I start, primary first lesson. No need. I need to use my karma yoga time for those. So I need to train myself that, I just need to switch on the switch of my awareness and I reach where I want to reach. Just like aeroplane, in the airport, aeroplanes are all packed in their own bays and passengers get into the plane and the plane take off. So just like that, you can imagine, I need to prepare myself in such a way that I just get into the flight and I press the button. I want to go into the soul world. I go and I stay as long as I want. The switch of consciousness should be in my hands. I decide how much time in how much time I want to arrive in the subtle region and how long I want to stay there. So my switch should be in my hands. I should be clear about my destination. I want to go to the soul world and I want to be there for that much time. I want to go to the golden age. Whatever destination you decide, everything is ready. All that you need to do is press the button of your consciousness and you fly. That is only possible when your intellect, they say when you fly in the aeroplane, they use double refined petrol. And so I need to have double intoxication that works like double refined petrol for your intellect. Corporeal intoxication and incorporeal intoxication. So throughout the day, when I have that intoxication, then my engine is already warmed up. I don't have to make any effort. That is why we see when dadis conduct meditation or when dadis take us into the journey, in 1 second, they can take us beyond without even commentary or nothing because they are already in that stage. So what I find is nowadays, this is the practice we need to have. More silence and less speech. So we save energy. And one of the practice Mohini Ben is suggesting, and they are all practicing, is once in couple of hours, 10 minutes, total silence, in the sense, no thinking, no listening, no looking, no talking, no eating, nothing, just be for 10 minutes. Then you will begin to understand what is the silence of the subtle region. The more we experience the silence of the subtle region while we are in the corporeal world, then we are able to take ourselves beyond into the soul world. Now, as I was saying earlier, the deepest stage of meditation, yoga, is the seed stage, Bindu stage, Videhi stage, where I, the soul, I see myself in my eternal form and with my eternal qualities equal to Shiv Baba. So you can imagine if you want to feel yourself so close to Shiv Baba in the soul world, now how much energy you need to accumulate within yourself to hold on to that stage as long as you want. And that is also called fire of yoga. The deepest yoga experience is yoga in the form of fire, volcanic yoga. So volcanic yoga means what? Not any kind of fire is coming from me, but it is a stage where you are totally lost and disappeared from this world. So the example Baba gives sometimes about the caterpillar metamorphosis into butterfly. So that is called deepening our remembrance. Let the caterpillar, it disappears from the nature and allows the nature to do its work. So what I need to do is that I need to surrender. I need to surrender my mind, my intellect to God and enter into God's womb and just be. And let God do his magic on me. Just like when a baby is in the fetus of the mother, the baby doesn't do anything. Whatever food the mother takes, whatever drink the mother takes, that goes into the growth of baby's body. So this is something to experience. So that is why you need to have silence. Being in the womb of God and allowing God to sustain you with non-physical food and non-physical relationship. And then suddenly, the instinct that you have within the soul of being an angel will emerge. And then you just emerge as an angel, God's messenger. This is what we saw in Brahma Baba's life story, like how Baba was making that incognito effort from the beginning, surrendering himself to God to such an extent that in the last few years, people could feel, Baba's drishti was filled with so much of power that Baba and Shiv Baba, they were one. In corporeal and corporeal, there was no difference. And that is why it was very easy for Baba to detach himself from the body. So, it's up to me how I approach remembrance. It can be in the form of relationship. It can be in the form of pilgrimage. It can be in the form of journey. But it has to be practical. Not only when we have some trouble, we say we sit in yoga bhatti, or when we hear some news, what is happening in the world, okay, let us do some tapasya, not like that. But it should be my passion, because I have been separated from God for so long, and now I cannot remain any more separated. I just want to be in the company of Baba. So when I'm be able to experience this kind of companionship, a feeling that God is sustaining me at every step. Not only you feel, but others can feel from you that you are being sustained by God, because there is nothing except Baba and myself. As I sit, as I walk, as I eat. And so when that kind of, experience I have during the day, and so whenever I have time to sit for few minutes also, it will be such a deep experience that you can feel the super sensuous joy. So the experience we can describe in the depth of remembrance of Baba is super sensuous joy. Though happiness beyond senses, that is what they call bliss. It's not that in golden age you are going to experience bliss. You need to experience that now. And for that, total surrender. Just total surrender. Mind, intellect, sanskaras. Let Baba do his work on me. So I need to have so much faith in order to allow that to happen. And that is why we always see that, Prakash Mani Dadi, Dadi Janki, every breath there is only Baba, Baba, Baba. So we also need to learn to use this Baba word more and more and more in our Brahmin life. And that will always automatically remind us to remember Baba. And another important thing that helps us also to fill our hearts with love for Baba is the attitude of gratitude. So I need to be so grateful, so thankful what Baba has done to me and what he is doing to me. It has to be like a constant feeling, filling my heart. And I find that, if I can't do anything else, even that much will help me to get lost in Baba's remembrance. I remember one sister was complaining to Dadi once that she cannot get connected with Baba, online. She don't know, she has lost connection. So Dadi told her, every night you write a letter of gratitude to Baba. And she started to do it. On the second day onwards, she got connected. And she said that from that time until today, every time just by using the word Baba itself, it creates such a kind of boost impulse. And so it is not something that we separate from our karma. It has to be together. And most of us have been to Madhuban. Most of us have had the opportunity to have encounter with experienced yogis, and we have heard their classes. But now it is a time to embody. Don't think too much when you sit in meditation. Allow the experience to emerge. Otherwise we will be left only in thinking, thinking yogi, not practical yogi, practicing yogi. So when we are in that practical embodiment stage, it creates an atmosphere. And of course, to dive deep into that experiences, we need to have two things, determination and concentration. If I don't have determination and concentration, I will not be able to dive deeper. Then there will be many distractions that will take me away. Even to think about service, even to churn the knowledge while specially sitting in yoga is also not pure remembrance. It should be just me and Baba and lost. It's not even blank stage, it is a stage of fullness. And that will be seen from your face. That will be seen from the vibration that you are emitting into the atmosphere. People could feel the purity, the peace, the love, and they will be attracted towards Baba. So just try whatever methods that suits you, but just to make sure that my remembrance of Baba should be of that quality that Baba begins to remember me. That is a challenge we should take. I remember Baba so much that Baba can't help without remembering me. So let us take that challenge today. As we go home, I will deepen my remembrance of Baba to such an extent that neither Baba will be separated from me nor I will be separated from Baba. And Baba has to remember me. Don't ask Baba, Baba, do you remember me? Then Baba will say, why should I remember you? I have not committed any sins. But he does remember. He does remember. We have heard so many experiences of Dadis. How Baba used to remember, Dadis, even though they were not in Madhuban. But of course, my remembrance has to be of that quality that Baba has to remember me. So let us take that challenge today and experiment that within ourselves. So I leave you with these thoughts today to experiment and see how you can dive so deep into the ocean that you become part of the ocean yourself. There is no difference between either soul and Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. It is very nice to meet you again. Before we start our Q&A session, I just wanted to let you know that more than 300 souls have joined today's Bhakti in both Zoom and YouTube. And this time we have translations for Tamil and Mandarin listeners as well. So without any further ado, Didi, let me read out the first question to you. Okay, this one is related to yesterday's Murli. Baba always mentions about pilgrimage of remembrance, but what does he means by gallows of remembrance?
Yeah, very interesting question. You know, when you say gallows, which means breath by breath, because when somebody is put on the gallows, they become breathless. That's it. So instead of saying, remember me, breath by breath, Baba said, have remembrance of in the gallows, put yourself in the gallows of remembrance. That means not even a single breath should be wasted without remembrance, because we don't know which is the last breath, right? And we have always heard from Baba, your last breath will lead you to your destination. And that is why Baba's signal was that every breath should be given so much of value that you shouldn't forget Baba in any breath also, breath by breath.
Okay. Okay, Didi. The second question is, can my deep remembrance of Baba help others to have remembrance of Baba also?
Yes, definitely. If the quality of my remembrance is so intense, it cannot be hidden. The power of remembrance is like a fragrance. It will spread far and wide. I remember Dadi Janki sharing her experience that, you know, when she used to hold Mama's hand, of course, Mama was not sitting and meditating. They were going somewhere just for a walk or something. She said that as soon as she held Mama's hand, she got such current that she became bodiless herself, you know. But Mama's practice of bodiless stage was so strong that just by holding Mama's hand, she became bodiless. Not only that, you know, we have heard in corporate the rishis and munis, when they used to meditate in cave with the Brahm element, the vibrations used to spread far away. And now if I am meditating with Baba, the power of remembrance not only purifies me, but it also purifies the elements of matter. It also transforms other souls, and it also inspires other souls. So vibrations touches other souls. So that's why Baba says remembrance is also service. If you are not able to do any service, if you are sitting and having remembrance, you are serving because you are purifying the atmosphere.
Okay. Didi, please explain regarding what is natural yoga in detail.
Natural yoga.
Yeah, natural yoga.
See, natural yoga means, like, as I was describing in the beginning, when a child is born, a child is not taught by anybody to say mommy and daddy. The child is not taught by anybody to remember mother, father. But the child has a natural tendency to respond to the vibration. So what Baba wants us is that when you are soul conscious, your remembrance is natural without any effort. You know, just like, as I said, when you are a patient, naturally you remember doctor, you don't remember your teacher. So when I am soul conscious, my remembrance can be natural, because as a soul, I don't have anybody else to remember except Baba. But in order to make remembrance natural, first of all, I have to make it easy. Because anything that which is easy is natural. Anything that which is natural is constant. So many times, even though the name of yoga that we practice is called Easy Raja Yoga, but we find it very difficult. Name is Easy Yoga, but we are struggling, laboring to remember Baba. The reason is that we haven't practiced soul consciousness enough. That's the biggest mistake. So if you want to be a natural yogi, pay a lot of attention to be soul conscious. Practice soul consciousness.
Okay, Didi. The next question is that visualizing Shiv Baba in the soul world is still a mental activity. So, how to differentiate between my own imagination and real experience?
See, first of all, I need to use my divine eye to see Baba, because that is why knowledge is important. Baba has given me the third eye of knowledge, divine eye, divine vision. So that is why I said first my intellect visualizes Baba, as a point of light in the soul world. And then I use the understanding, knowledge that I have to apply to get the feeling. You get the feeling. When you get the feeling of that point of light, that means that is experience. Otherwise, it is just like visualizing, through the third eye on the basis of knowledge. First of all, of course, we have to use knowledge. If I want to know where is London, I was told in my school through the map, London is in this place. I believe, but then I can have experience of London when I go there, isn't it? So I need to teach myself to put that knowledge that I have into my action, real. So then I begin to get that feelings and vibrations. So Baba communicates with us not through words, through feelings and vibrations. That I know I am in contact with God, I am in the soul world. It's through vibrations and feelings. So that is why it is very important to make my intellect very subtle, use my divine eye and divine intellect. That helps me to have experience easily.
Okay. Didi, the next question is from Chinese listeners. One of the questions is from there. What is the difference in between remembrance while doing actions or sit in remembrance?
I think I already explained, maybe they have not paid attention. When I said remembering Baba in action means it can be churning knowledge, it can be practicing soul consciousness, it can be even Sakar remembrance, spinning the cycle of self-realization, 5-form exercise, traveling to 4 pilgrimage places in Madhuban. That is Karma Yoga. While performing action, we can do that. But when I'm sitting in yoga, so my attention has to be to the deeper aspects. So where I experience myself moving beyond this corporeal world, either into the subtle region or into the soul world. And I can stay there as long as I want. So that is why these two are connected. As a karma yogi, if you are a trustee, then when you are sitting in yoga, you can become bodiless, angelic easily. If I am not a trustee in karma yoga, if I have attachment, if I have desires, then my intellect is stuck. So then I cannot experience the deep meditation experiences.
Okay. Didi, what is Nitra Yoga and how does Mama and Baba sleep is counted as yoga?
See, Nidra Yoga, we call it as Yog Nidra. Means because Mama Baba's sleep was very light. Many times the children wanted to see Sakar Baba, how he was sleeping. Without making any noise, sometimes they would go very soft. Just peep. Already Baba got vibration. Baba would say, who is there coming? Baba's sleep was quite light, not so deep, as if he was, in the subtle region or churning knowledge. So because Mama Baba, not just before going to sleep, they made the effort to give the accounts to Baba, settle all the accounts, make themselves light, what we are supposed to do today. But Mama Baba lived a life of detachment and love naturally. Whenever they want to come out of the body, they can. Whenever they want to enter into the body, they can. So I have seen Dadi Janki, she's so busy, but like say one person has finished meeting, another person will come, she has 1 minute and she will practice bodiless stage in that. So 1 minute of bodiless stage is equal to 1 hour of sleep. So they already, recharge their battery. And that is why they don't need long hours of sleep. And they don't take too long to fall asleep. I have seen Prakash Mani Dadi. We used to go and tell her good night when she was in the Sakar, And she would be talking to us and saying good night. In next moment, she is already deep sleep. Having so much responsibility of the yajna, but yet so carefree. Because they always had this thought that Baba is doing it. This is Baba's yajna. There was detachment and love in between bodiless stage. And so it was like even the sleep also was service. If someone has seen Mama sleeping, we don't use the word sleep also. I remember once there was a sannyasi conference in Madhuban, and one of the biggest sannyasi wanted to meet Dadi Janki and wanted to have an appointment. So he asked the sister who was in charge. She told very beautifully. She did not say, my Dadi is sleeping now. It doesn't sound very well. So she said, our Dadi is now in a samadhi stage. She's in a samadhi stage, which means she's just in deep silence. And it is true because they don't take too long to fall asleep and they don't take too long to wake up. Not like some of us. So their sleeping is also service.
Okay. Didi, there's a question on, there's a new soul that following BK Gyan for about 3 years now and eating non-veg. Okay, but keep trying to meditate and trying to connect with Baba. Is that possible to get connected to Baba?
See, there are, it's not that they cannot get connected to Baba, but if you really are keen to dive deep into yoga status, we suggest that you take care of the food that you eat. 4 things play an important role in taking us into the depth of yoga experience. One is Amrit Vela Yoga, daily Murli, pure vegetarian food, and Brahmacharya. So those of us who would like to go deeper into yoga experiences, if they can experiment with these 4 principles, it will help. Otherwise, you may be able to just feel relaxed and just feel little peace of mind, not so deep.
Okay, Didi. I think
I think we finished the question answers here.
Yes. Thank you so much, Didi. I think we have come to the end of our tonight's session. But before we end, I would like to make a few announcements on the upcoming programs. We have 2 online public talks to be done this month. One is on the 21st of November at 5 p.m. with the title of Discover Your Inner Power by Brother Lachu. And the other one is on the 27th of November at 7:30 p.m. by Brother Pure on making my mind my best friend. Both talks will be in English and translations are available. The rest of the details will be updated soon to all of you. So we need your kind cooperation to forward these details to all of your contacts. So Didi, we will end our session for tonight with a live commentary. So hope to see you again in our next Brahmin class. Thank you, Didi, and thank you, everyone. Om Shanti.
So in order to have, meditation experience, my request to all of you is take your seats, be relaxed. Try to move away from all other thoughts that you may be having not done properly. For this time, put them aside and give the quality time to yourself and try to follow the thoughts that I'm going to speak. If any unnecessary thought comes, just put them on hold. And so you will be able to move on to the journey to go deeper and touch the light of God and receive God's blessings. Om Shanti. I allow my body to sit comfortably. I turn my mind within. I become aware of myself as a soul, a spark of light in the center of my forehead. I am a being of light who exists forever. I am immortal, imperishable, living energy. I, the soul, I am the master of my subtle energies, the mind, intellect, and sanskaras. I, the soul, I am also the master of my sense organs. I am a self-sovereign. I can come into the body or I can move away from the body at my will. In 1 second, I, the tiny point of light, I move away from this body, my costume. I see myself floating beyond this body, beyond this world of matter, beyond the subtle regions, into the region of golden red light. I, the being of light, I am in my home. I am surrounded by the infinite light of this sweet silence home. In this region of golden red light, I am pulled towards the supreme light, the light of God. I, the being of light, I see myself very close. I come very close to the supreme light, who is emitting so much light. I touch the light of God. I am totally empowered. Shiv Baba, the supreme light, like the sun of knowledge, is showering me with his rays filled with light, filled with love. I am bathing in the ocean of light. I am being embraced by the rays of God's love. I am lost in the ocean. I enjoy this experience of being one with Baba. Baba fills me with all his powers, all his virtues. In Baba's company, I'm totally filled, energized, empowered. From a distance, I, the being of light, fully charged with God's light and love, I slowly return to the corporeal world, and I slowly enter the corporeal body, and I see myself seated in the center of my forehead, radiating God's light, God's love and peace out into the world. I am light. I am peace. I am love. I am light, full of peace and love. Oh, Shanti. 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 Thank you.
बाबा तेरी यादों में मन में प्रकाश भर जाए। बाबा तेरी यादों में मन में प्रकाश भर जाए। शुभ संकल्पों के उजालों से अंधियारा दूर हो जाए। बाबा तेरी यादों में मन में प्रकाश भर जाए। बाबा तेरी यादों में मन में प्रकाश भर जाए।